We're going to do another unboxing. I just received this today. This should be a Sega Genesis. The first Sega Genesis I've actually owned in all my life. I was more of a Nintendo kid growing up. Had the Nintendos, never had the Segas. A couple friends of mine did. So I was always on the outside looking in on the Sega side. So I've recently acquired the Dreamcast, which I did have growing up, but I also got a Saturn that I did not have, and now a Sega Genesis that I also did not have. So I'm in the middle of trying to kind of complete my whole Sega collection right now, and all that's left is now the accessories for this, which will be the Sega CD and the 32X. I do intend to probably get one of those each one day, and probably a Sega Master System eventually too. So I'm excited about the Genesis because the 16-bit era were kind of the most fun that I had playing games. It looks like I may have to work to get this out of here. This packaging looks to be IP68 rated here. It's labeled as this being the top, so let's just come in here from the top side. This looked to be a good deal too, and he was kind enough to even throw this in for me, which is a copy of Sonic the Hedgehog. Looks to be in decent shape. It is the not for resale version, so you can pick those up pretty cheap, but having him throw that in with this was a nice add because it didn't come with any games, and now I have the ability to at least test the functionality. Two OEM controllers that are actually, this one here is in pretty good shape, and this one here sorry about the lighting there, it just switched off on me. This one here is also in pretty decent shape. I've got a few of these M30s around here, so that's probably how I'll end up playing most of these games, but it's nice to have the original controllers. An original OEM power supply is nice to have. Always prefer the OEM power supplies. Also the OEM RF unit. Again, nice to see the OEM stuff. This is really more of a collector's item now. This is something that will never be hooked up around here, but it's neat to have. This is just a long gone technology that we no longer use, but it's kind of fun to look back at sometimes. So here's the star of the show, and I hope this is everything I expect it to be, because the condition looked pretty good on the internet. So let's see what we got here. And I'm pretty happy with that. No rattles, condition looks really good. It's definitely going to get a refurbishment. It's nice to see the port cover there. Ports in the back look to be okay. Lots that I've seen have scuffing around the logos and obviously where the cartridge goes in. That cartridge slot looks good on first inspection here. I'm going to give this a shine. I got some Aerospace 303 that I will end up taking this apart and giving it a full bath and getting in all these little crevices with a toothbrush and giving it a real good clean. Hopefully get this thing shining like new again. I don't know that it's ever been opened up before. Usually you can see some telltale signs on the rubber feet, but they look to be intact and I don't see any creases or anything in them, so I don't think anybody has been into this one before, which would be great. Condition is very nice, and again I got a great deal on this. I paid $70 Canadian for it with the cartridge and all the supplies that it comes with here, plus $20 for shipping, so $90 Canadian altogether, which our Canadian dollar is very weak at the moment, so $90 for this. Felt like a really good deal. I've been watching them for a couple of months now on eBay, and it seems like I felt like I got a really good deal here. That's providing that everything works. Everything's in good condition. It said that it came from a private collection in the listing, so that kind of checks out here, hopefully. It doesn't look like it's been passed around too much. So let's get this one hooked up and tested too. I'll see you guys on the testing side. Okay, before I test the Sega Genesis, I actually need to get out a new cable for it. Obviously, I don't have RF connection around here, and if I do, it's something I definitely do not want to use anymore. That's all that the Sega Genesis that we just got came with, so I did already have these. I ordered basically almost all the Retrovision cables and adapters some time ago, and been waiting for these to find a Sega Genesis. And I've already started using the one I bought for the PS2. I got the same component now also for the Super Nintendo. And what's good about this Sega Genesis one is that I also have all the adapters for the Saturn, the Neo Geo, and the PlayStation. So using this one cable, I'll be able to adapt to those other three systems. And I don't actually have the Neo Geo yet, but I have a Saturn and a PlayStation that I'll be able to go back and forth between. And ideally, once I'm able to finally get a selectable video switch, which I tried to get here again on the second round. I had all my stuff in the cart. I even had the confirmation code sent to me within 1 minute of the release of it, and I had all my items in the cart. Had my confirmation code at 1:01, which is our local time here, 1 minute. And had my placed order, and at the time everything was just selling out right under my nose, and a few items remained in my cart. I had 19 items in there. I was practicing before the event went live to get everything into that cart as fast as I could, and I couldn't have done it any humanly faster, I don't believe. And I guess just having to get so many items, 19 of them ideally for the setup that I have planned here, was just not possible by a human being that day, because trust me, I put in my full effort. So yeah, we're gonna get this all hooked up. It's a pretty neat cable. I didn't realize it had like these extra connections on here. 3.5 millimeter jack there. Something's going on over here. We got a switch right there for, looks like a brightness switch. So some settings and audio outputs on this cable. Very cool. High quality component cables. This is a pretty heavy duty cable here even. You can tell this is really good quality. I've been real impressed with these HD Retrovision cables. I want to get them all, and I basically do have them all now, but I might order up a couple more of these in the end so that I don't have to use the adapters. Well, you still will need to use the adapters, but I won't have to switch them around. So we'll see how much that's necessary. But for now, I can still hook up each of those systems, and we're going to get testing on the Genesis, so we'll be able to adapt that Genesis now to the, I'll be plugging it into a RetroTink 4K Pro, and I should be able to get nearly the best out of it. I'm actually thinking about possibly doing the triple bypass on this, but we're going to see what we got here first with this, because with the HD Retrovision cables going into a RetroTink 4K Pro, in all honesty, we're really giving this thing its best chance to look real good, and it should. So let's see what we got here. Hopefully the unit works when we test it, and we'll see what kind of an output we get here through this chain. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're about to see this together for the first time. I got the Sega Genesis hooked up with the HD Retrovision cable into the back of the RetroTink 4K. So we're about to test it. It came with Sonic, so thankfully I have something to test with. And I'm going to plug the power in first. That was the last step I was planning to take. And we'll see what happens. Okay, the lights turn on. That's good. We got it. It's showing up. And yeah, doesn't appear to be any problems here. Everything looks bright and crisp. I'm not sure what that is at the bottom of the screen there. I think that's kind of normal for some of these older systems to show extra image that wasn't meant to be on the TVs of its time. But this RetroTink, this isn't even set up. It's on the default profile. I'm sure I can tweak it with the Retrotank once I have the Genesis profiles and stuff loaded. But yeah, everything's working and the picture looks good. No complaints. I'm gonna probably take it all apart and give it a good cleaning and refurbishment. Potentially the triple bypass mod, but I'm not sure how necessary that is. I'm gonna do my research first, because what I see here is great, and obviously it's given its best chance with the cable and Retrotank that it has to aid the signal along the way. So yeah, pretty happy to have the Sega Genesis in the house, and hopefully even get a 32X and Sega CD add-on when the time is right and the deals are good. They'll eventually come around, I hope, and we'll get it all kitted out, and yeah, be fun to play the old games back on the original hardware, because I do intend to get a Mega EverDrive Pro, so that what I can't collect, I'll be able to play back up through ROMs and enjoy the Sega Genesis again. So yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, there's going to be lots more videos coming, so I hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.